everyone. Welcome to another edition of Live the Mod Life. I'm your host, Jennifer Abernethy, and we are filming this at night tonight, so the lighting's a little different. Love filming during the day, but I do run my social media agency, Socially Delivered, during the day, which, by the way, is powering this show. So thank you, Socially Delivered, for powering this show, Live the Mod Life. This is a channel for modern women and cool men too, at midlife and beyond, to live your best life. You know, we can really begin your life, I feel, at midlife. You know, we have the confidence, we have the money, you know, the kids are grown up, we might have been divorced, so we might be more independent at that time, and we're always looking for new and innovative ways to, I don't know, just stay thriving, stay vigorous in our life. And so this is what this channel is for, to say, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We're just getting started, okay? Well, tonight I want to share with you a passion of mine and a hobby of mine, and that's something I want to talk about, is hobbies. You know, when we hit midlife and beyond, sometimes we get away from our hobbies. You know, we are in our professional life, we're busy, we're going to graduations, we're going to weddings, we're going to baby showers, we're at the peak of our career, or we're just, you know, retiring and reinventing ourselves into a next act, and we forget about a hobby. And I don't even know if that's the right word for it anymore, but I just wanted to share something that I've been doing since I was 20. And I was really into it for about 20 years, and then I got away from it, and now I'm kind of getting back into it again. I am more of a minimalist, so I don't like, even though I do have piles of books and piles of paper in my house, but I don't like clutter necessarily. I'm a minimalist, and I'm going more that way. But I started this hobby when I was 20, and I started collecting perfume bottles. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, because it's kind of a unique hobby, I think. And it is a world into itself, let me tell you, because there are a lot of perfume bottle collectors. And if you are one, please say hello in the comments and let me know where you're from. Because it is a kind of a small community of us, even though there are thousands of us out there. But when we do get together, and by the way, there are conventions of perfume bottle collectors, which I've gone to. It's if you can check out the International Perfume Bottle Association. Yes, there is an association for everything. And there is association for perfume bottle collectors. And let me tell you, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it tonight with you, because one of the reasons why I started Mod Life is because, you know, yes, I'm a professional. I run a social media agency. You know, I network. I'm an author. I'm a two-time national author with Penguin Random House. I'm a speaker. But I have so many other interests, and I couldn't find all those things in one place. I wanted to meet people who also had a lot of really unique interests. And one of my interests is perfume bottles and perfume bottle collecting, and yes, I do love perfume. So I wanted to talk to you about that today, because I thought some of you might be interested in it, and it might inspire you to kind of get back into a hobby yourself or start one. And it doesn't necessarily mean collecting. Hobby could be cooking. It could be learning how to cook more. It could be it could be plant collecting. It could be gardening. It could be, I know someone who traveled the United States just going to different museums. That was their hobby. I know someone else that one of their hobbies was going to jazz conferences, jazz conferences, jazz shows all around the country. You know, like, how cool is that? Some people go, you know, are wine collectors, and so they go to wineries all over the country, all over the world. So think about what you want to do and what you like, and try to kind of make it a hobby, because there's always someone out there who you know, you can find who will like the same thing. It might be collecting books, whatever it is. Again, it doesn't have to be collecting something, it could be doing something. And so it just makes us more interesting, a little bit more rounded. So thanks for giving me a few minutes of your time to share this fun hobby of mine. It's kind of unique, and these are just a few of my bottles, by the way. A lot of others are packed away, and so I need to get them out, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I just don't have a spot right now to really store them, or display them. I should say display them. And I want to get a custom table made, kind of a round table, like a coffee table. I'm envisioning and putting these in it where it lights up, maybe with a mirror around it. I don't know, I'm sort of envisioning, and then having a glass on top of it so that they can be enjoyed while you know, there in front of the sofa and on the coffee table and just make a pretty piece of art. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but it's something I need to have made. So if you have any ideas of what I could do with this collection and how I could display it in a new and unique way, I would love to hear from you. So thanks for that. So how did I get started? Well, this was the very first bottle, and this was made in Germany, and my mom gave me this, I believe, when I was maybe 19. And I just thought it was really pretty, you know, it was just a cute bottle. And it's a nice glass, made in Germany, and I liked it. And then, I don't know, I went someplace else and I got another one. I can't remember the second one that I got. But then what happened was I started working at the Washington Post. I was an advertising executive with the Washington Post, and word got out that I collected perfume bottles. And people there traveled all over the world, from the newsroom to the advertising department. And so when people would travel, believe it or not, they'd bring me back a perfume bottle. Now, some of them I gave money, you know, and I said, please pick me up a bottle, you know, and they would. And others just would go buy me one out of the kindness of their heart. And so I have some of those that I'd love to share with you today, and some others. So this one here actually is one of my favorites, and this is from India. And this was a colleague of mine, Anne, if you're watching, she went to India while we were working in advertising together at the Washington Post, and she went there. I remember she went to meet Mother Teresa over in Calcutta, and she bought me back this bottle from India. I'm going to get it a little bit closer so you can see it, but it's just really, really pretty. And, you know, I didn't know when I'm not going to open it there, but I didn't know when I was going to get to India, so I wanted to share that with you. I thought that one was really, really pretty. Now, another person that I worked with, I believe this is from Czechoslovakia, and I thought this one was really pretty. She bought this back for me when she went on her trip to Czechoslovakia, and I'll just get that in the light there so you can see it. Isn't that pretty? And it's sort of like a sea glass, and then it has this decoration on it, which is really, really nice. Let's see what else. Okay, this one here is really interesting. A colleague went to China, I believe. China or Japan? China, I believe. And this perfume bottle came in this box. I actually have another one somewhere. Again, I have a whole 2 more boxes of these bottles somewhere. And then you open it up, and the bottle's in here, and it was hand painted. I'll never forget, they told me hand painted from the inside out with a single like feather, you know, on a brush. And they got really meticulous with it. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see it, to see the design. That was painted from the inside out. And this is from Japan. Isn't that pretty? So I love that one. And I've got another one too that they bought back, but anyway, and they come in these really great boxes. So that's from Japan, and that was someone else that purchased that for me. Now these are my Egypt bottles. So we had a friend of the family, Nancy, if you're watching. I love these bottles, and these are bought back from Egypt many, many years ago. And I just absolutely love them. In fact, this one's really pretty too. So I'll get these a little bit closer. It's pretty so you can see. And what I love about perfume bottle collecting is that, first of all, they're little pieces of art, you know, and they're just super pretty. And I don't know, I'm very feminine. I love beauty. I don't want this to fall because they break easy. And every little piece, once you get into it, it's just, they're little works of art. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the convention, but let me show you a few more. Okay, so this one here, this one's really cool. As you can tell, I haven't really picked a genre of bottle, which is what people do, and I will fill you in on that. But this one, I believe, is from the 1940s. And it's missing the atomizer, you know, that you squeeze. But I just love it for the, see if I'll get it in the light there. Here you go. It's just super pretty. Heavy too, very substantive, very heavy. And this was really, you know, from the 1940s, which I do love the 1940 perfume bottles. They're hard to find. I mean, you just have to really look for them. They're out there, but you just have to really look for them. That was really pretty. This one was from Disney World. I'll never forget. Lily, if you're watching, Lily, and we all went to Disney and got this. I think they got this one for me, actually. I'm going to show you this one in the, there's Disney. So once you get into it, you actually start seeing the perfume bottles everywhere. And what I love about this, again, it's just gets my mind off work. It gets my mind off any troubles that I'm having. And you know, they're just really pretty, and you can reminisce about where you got them. And when people come over and you have them displayed, people love to look at them, and they're just a lot of fun. There's some more here I can show you. This one's another favorite. I think it's just because of, this is a glass blown, but it's got a purple hue to it, and just super, super pretty. You can see that. So I love that one. And again, this is what people used to do, put perfume in, just go like that, okay? So that's really pretty. Okay, so when you go to the the Perfume Bottle Collectors Association conference, which they have, and they move them around the country. So they're on the East Coast and then West Coast, or sometimes in Chicago. They're super, super fun because you walk in and it's just a bunch of people that love perfume and perfume bottles. But people get really specific. Like some people might only collect Lalique crystal, you know, glass, which are very, very high-end. Some people might only collect Indian perfume bottles, like they get really specific. Some people might only collect perfume bottles that have a red hue to them. Some people might only collect bottles that have a rose motif, like this one does. I actually really love this one, rose motif. Some may only collect Egyptian. Like, it gets really specific. And then some people might only collect minis. Now, I started getting into the minis there for a while, but that's a whole new world into itself. And so I do have a handful of minis, but I don't know, I kind of like the full size. But the minis, you know, I definitely have some. And like, here's a mini Egyptian. And so some people only do minis. Some people only do bottles from the 1950s. Some people only collect a specific type of perfume. So they might collect only Coco Chanel, or only you know, a brand that was really popular in the 1950s. Okay. And so it just really gets specific. Some people might only collect bottles that are emerald green, okay, like this one. Some pretty with the Some might only collect bottles with butterflies. So some people's collection, they're just very specific. Mine isn't. Mine are just, it's a mix mash, but I like all of them. All of them tell a story, because sometimes people have given me one. From a different country, so I love that. Here is one also from the 50s, I believe, and this is it's called Pink Coral Cologne by Wrigley. It looks like Wrigley, but I don't know. It's just an old bottle. It's from the 1950s. I just love the bottle. So I do tend to like the bottles from the 40s and 50s, but I don't have that many of them. But the ones that I do, I really love. So think about this, if this would be something fun for you. So when you go to the collection, like I said, or go to the association convention, first of all, everyone, you know, is just so much fun because everyone brings their collection and they share. And there's trading going on. People get, you know, they get, you know, their collection looked at by experts, you know, and they get it appraised. And then at the end, there's actually an auction. And people donate a bottle, or they have bottles that they're going to sell. So it could be a bottle that's from a famous, you know, actress from years ago, or from someone from England, or, you know, like Jackie Onassis, you know, perfume bottle, whatever it is, and there's an auction. And the Czechoslovakian perfume bottles are really, really collectible, and they're very, very expensive. A lot of them look like this. I don't think that this is an original one, but it could be. So, you know, but they're very ornate, specific cut glass, Czechoslovakian, so they're very, very nice. So they have an auction at the end, which is a lot of fun. And and then there's people that just collect. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember, there was cologne or perfume that you could actually, it was like a ointment almost, and you'd open it up and then you just rub it on you, and that was the perfume. People collect those, just those. There used to be rings that had that, and you'd open up the ring and you'd had little of the, I don't know, it's like this, like a salve almost, and that, but it smelled like a perfume, and then they put that on. So some people collect that. It gets really, really specific, but super, super fun. And it's just, again, it's just an escape. That's what I liked about it. It was an escape. You're around these beautiful bottles, and some people just have these collections that are just so, so beautiful, and they're worth, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Mine certainly isn't, but I just get so much enjoyment out of it when it's out, and that's why I want to display them somehow. I don't want your typical armoire. I don't want that. I want to put it in something that maybe lights up, or maybe I could put it like acrylic boxes in my bathroom that light up, and I could put them in there. I don't know. Love your ideas on how to display these, because I think, for me, it's a lot of fun. Okay. So I want you to think about a hobby. And again, it doesn't have to involve buying things either. This could be, your hobby could be, okay, photography. Could be, I love going out and taking pictures of nature, taking pictures of sunsets. My hobby is I like to collect seashells on the beach. A hobby could be you want to start going to flower shows, to learn about different types of roses and all the different types of roses in the world. Once you start getting into these little worlds upon itself, it just opens your mind up. It just frees you up a little bit, because again, there's so much happening in the world that it just takes you into this other little world that's just, beautiful and fun and interesting to you, So that's really what I wanted to encourage you about, and why I wanted to share my collection with you, at least part of it here today. Just trying to see if there were some others here. This one is one of my favorites because of the way that the glass is cut. I'm going to bring this up here so you can see it. Maybe you see that. And it just has that shimmer. And I really, really love that one. Actually, this was my mom's, and I love that. And this one I got from I think it was just an antiques market. I love it. Gosh, it has a name. Oh, this is a defilbus, and this probably has some value to it, because that's a name that's popular with collectors. It has the gold atomizer, and I believe this is gold. So anyway, I love that one too. This is one of my favorites. So this is a lot of fun, and so I just want you to think about, a hobby, because also it's a great way to meet people. Loneliness is, I guess, an epidemic right now. 1 out of 3 adults is lonely. I mean, I get lonely sometimes. And so if I were around other perfume bottle collectors, boy, we would have fun, right? Talking and talking about our collections, sharing our collections, maybe even doing some trading. So when you're out there doing your hobby, again, no matter what it is, it doesn't have to cost money. You're going to meet like-minded people. And it's just, and if everything I'm reading right now about dementia is that we have to have social connections. And so many of us work, like myself, work from home. And so we have to have some socializing going on. And I'm divorced, and so I'm here, and I need to make an effort to get out, get in front of people, aside from work-wise, socialization. So it would be really fun to gather with some collectors. So if you're a collector, let me know in the comments. I'd love to do a Zoom event, and we could share some of our bottles with each other. But I'd also love to hear from you in the comments what hobby either you're pursuing or what you would like to do, because I want to encourage you to get out there and do it, because why not? Why not? And maybe even think of something new, like a new hobby that you want to do. Now I am starting something new. I am starting to learn how to cook French dishes. So next month I've signed up online with a chef out of Los Angeles. I'm here in Washington, D.C. area. and he's going to teach us how to cook coq au vin. And so I guess it's chicken with wine, I think, if I'm saying that right. And you know, he's emailing us all the food, you know, and spices and things that we need ahead of time. And so I actually am going to cook it along with him while he's demonstrating. And so that's going to be kind of a new hobby of mine, because I want to learn. I mean, if I enjoy it, I think I will. But assuming I enjoy it, that will become a new hobby of mine, because I want to start learning how to make these French dishes. And so if I can learn one a month, by the end of the year, that'll be 12 dishes that I can learn. And I'm adding chocolate mousse to the list as well. So I want to learn how to make that. So that's what this episode's all about. I'm really happy you're here. And I want to share with you, I took some notes. I just out of curiosity, I was curious about what were some of the top perfumes and what is the #1 perfume. So I thought I'd share that with you as a little trivia as we wind down here tonight. And you know, I know that you have a lot of viewing options, and I really appreciate you being here and watching on this channel. I'm aware that we have so many things that we can watch on YouTube or on Netflix or someplace else, but you just spending your 20 minutes here, I really appreciate it. And I'd love to know where you're watching from, just so again, because I'm here talking by myself to this camera. I don't know who's on the other side, so I would love to meet you. Okay, so 1960. What was the #1 perfume in 1960? The #1 perfume was Aramis, if I wrote this down right, Aramis. It was inspired by the Beatles, okay? Another one that was developed in 1961 was Kalash, and that's with a C. And now that is still out there, and that is still one of the top selling perfumes. I was at the Neiman Marcus the other day, and I was asking the lady, what is the #1 selling perfume? She said, well, one of the top is Kalash. And I did smell it, and it smells really good. And I want to add that to my collection of perfume that I actually use. Okay, another from the 60s are, well, actually, these were 1970. So let's go into 1970. The #1 perfume in 1970, or at least the 70s maybe, was, and I remember this one, Charlie by Revlon. So the ladies, you might remember that one, Charlie by Revlon. And Musk was also a big one in the 70s, and for Men, Brut. So I remember those. But Charlie was big. Charlie was big. Okay, let's go to the 1980s. I remember this one, and I love the scent of it. 1980, the #1 selling perfume was Paloma Picasso. I remember it came in this black bottle, and it smelled so good. I don't know if the young gals are wearing perfume because back in my day, and I'm talking in my early 20s, and even in my teens, I was really into perfume, and all my friends and I we just were into it. And I don't know if the young people are or not. So I would love to know that. Tell me if you have a daughter, or if you're younger and you're watching, were you into perfume in your 20s? Or are you watching now and you're in your 20s or 30s? Tell me. So 1980, Paloma Picasso, Giorgio, which I remember that also smelled really good, and Coco by Chanel. Okay, another big one in the 80s was Shalimar. And that was one that my mom wore all the time. And I can still smell that. Shalimar. In fact, I might get some just to have that, because I remember her wearing that all the time. The best-selling perfume of all time, I think maybe some of you may know it, but just sharing it with you, the best-selling perfume of all time, which is still selling 10 million bottles per year, is Chanel #5. Chanel #5. And I just ran out. I was using my mom's Chanel #5, and yeah, I'm almost at the bottom of it. So I want to save her bottle because I want to save it, but I want to get my own Chanel #5. That's really good. Another top selling one right now is Yves Saint Laurent Black Opium. Black Opium is also extremely popular right now. So, and has been for a while. So that's just a little perfume trivia for you. Okay, Well, listen, everyone, thanks for joining in. I don't have a slideshow this time at the end, but I will next week. I'll put one together. I got some feedback. You guys really enjoyed that. So I will share with you, perhaps at the end of the next video, a slideshow of some of my photography, which is another hobby of mine. I love taking pictures. It really relaxes me when I'm out there, if I'm under stress. Typically, when I'm under stress or going through a bad time, honestly, that's when I take the best photos. It's really kind of funny how that works out. But anyway, listen, have a mod week. Enjoy. Leave your name and where you're from in the comments and what you got out of this episode. I hope you'll check out the Perfume Bottle Collectors Association if you're interested, and let me know if you're going, and maybe I'll see you there at the next convention. I believe it's in Portland, Oregon. So I don't know if I'll be at that one, but they tend to rotate from coast to coast. And so the next time they come to the East Coast, I will likely attend, and maybe we can even film from there. So you take care, have a mod week, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.